Presentation by Google for mapping city facilities at no cost, including the Oceanside Civic Center and Oceanside Park facilities, for purposes of assisting our city residents and encouraging tourism, and direction to staff. And we have one speaker.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, first of all, I am really excited to introduce this fun, innovative project that has tremendous potential for positive aspects for both our city and our business community. This project was brought to me by Chris Wilson, who's on the board of Friends of the Library. He happened to go to a conference. I want to say kudos to our supporters for the library, the Oceanside Public Library, who continue to try to find different ways of making our library, making our city better and better and better. And so during one of these conferences, Mr. Wilson ran into a representative of Google, and the rest is going to be this presentation. He has with him Byron Blevins from Google, and also Travis Pfeiffer and Andrew Ellis. And Chris, if you could introduce this, and thank you very much.
Sure. Councilmember Sanchez, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you very much for this opportunity. What is being brought forward here is the opportunity for the city to enhance the visibility of all of its facilities in Google's mapping product. It's being done at no cost to the city, except perhaps a little bit of staff time for people to get the plans together and get them uploaded into Google's system. And it has potential for savings, actually, to the city in terms of staff time. In the process of sort of going around and seeing what was involved in people wondering where things are, even around here in City Hall. I actually took part of an afternoon and walked around all the first floor offices here in City Hall and asked the staff, how many times a day do you get asked for directions to some other office? People aren't actually looking for you. People aren't actually looking for a place to do business with your department, but they want to know, where do I go to pay a parking ticket? Where do I go? How do I find the city clerk's office? Where's HR? Where's some other office within the city? And it actually surprised me. The answer I got, totaling up all of them, was between 45 and 50 a day on average. And if each one of those interactions takes 5 minutes, figure it out. What's the cost of staff time that these people are spending giving directions to the public instead of doing the jobs that they're being paid to do? In addition to that, I know that this council has recently made the city clerk's position part-time, and I know that this is probably something that the city clerk's office gets a fair amount of their time taken up with as well. Just a sort of rough offhand estimate from the front desk staff there, they said that 2/3 of the people that come into their office are actually looking for directions to other departments within City Hall. So right there, I mean, especially given the increased burden on the staff in that office that would go along with making the clerk's position part-time, this would be a way for the council to reduce that burden somewhat and make things easier for them. So with that, I don't want to get into the details of exactly what all Google is going to be doing. For that, I'll bring up Byron Blevins from Google and let him run with it.
Thank you, Chris.
Good afternoon. First off, could you introduce your staff to us all?
I'd be glad to, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I'm Byron Blevins. This is Travis Pfeiffer, the team lead of Google Indoor Maps. And Andrew Ellis, who is one of our top field operatives, also deployed twice out of the local base here, and a combat veteran.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us, you guys. In my profession, I attend many, many meetings, and I have to say that I haven't been to one quite as meaningful in a variety of ways as this one was today. So we're really glad to be here. As mentioned, we're from Google. Specifically, we work for Google Maps. We were admiring your beautiful map that is very hard to create. And speaking with Deputy Mary Feller, we were talking about how it's even more difficult to keep it updated because it's static. So there's a lot of value in there in terms of discovering, what Oceanside has to offer, kind of how to navigate around the city, and also some secrets and things that people that are driving by on a daily basis may not know. An example you might picture for the Sunset Market, someone coming from San Diego using Google Maps as a GPS, discovering visually that, because we would literally highlight each of the venues involved. So in this example, the Sunset Market, they would discover that it's there visually, get very easy step-by-step directions to the front door of the market, and then be able to enter the market and find out all the things that are typically hidden, things around the corner, eateries, small businesses, and be able to enjoy, Oceanside in that way. That's just kind of one example of it. So, essentially, what we want to do is we would like to highlight and feature the public spaces in Oceanside within our platform, make it easier for people to get the directions, and then show them what's inside. It sounds easy. It's a little bit more detailed than that, but not too much. Here's a kind of a closer look at our product, which is Indoor Google Maps. Now, this is the latest advancement of Google Maps and Google Maps for mobile, which is the maps that you find on your mobile phones. So, any kind of Android device or the current iPhone system are supporting Google mobile maps. We feature a navigation aspect of interior spaces. Have any of the council members or the mayor ever used Google Maps as a GPS on your cell phone before?
Absolutely.
So, you have? So you know that there's a blue dot that drops into the field, and that's you, and it lets you know, where you are in relation to where you want to go. As mentioned previously, we were able to take that blue dot from the front door of your house to the front door of the Sunset Market or the front door of the airport, and you're seeing points of interest along the way, places to shop, places to eat, etc. Now we're able to take that blue dot into the interior spaces. With this project and this product, we only feature public spaces. We don't go into private offices, we don't go into boiler rooms, we're not looking to go any place that someone visiting the public space might go. So essentially, anything you would, walking into a mall, any place that you would be allowed to walk around is the kind of place that we want to feature. This product is extremely customizable and easy to update. So kind of coming back to the cost of updating your maps. We have developed a tool whereby all the venues involved will be able to access the tool and then update the latest floor plan of their map right to our system very, very easily. Not much different than uploading a photograph to the internet. So in the example of Sunset Market, if they change their layout, they can simply go onto the platform and update their map. Partners hold the keys. Now, we've worked with some small businesses and colleges and institutions. We've also worked with some very visible brands, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. But one thing that was very appealing to all the partners is that if for any reason after we completed the process of mapping their indoor spaces and taking those maps live and making them available to millions of people, they simply can let us know that they're unhappy with the final product, and we would take the map down. So, essentially the keys are in your hands. Also, it's a very simple process. This is something that is essentially 2 steps. We upload the floor plans of the venues to be involved, and I'll detail this again in a moment. We have the floor plans uploaded to our system, and essentially from there we put some of the best engineers on the world creating highly interactive maps and the most advanced maps in the world for that venue. The final point here is it's no cost. This is a no strings attached opportunity. There is no cost now, and there will be no cost in the future for the maintenance of these maps. And this is very new in it. There's immediate value in terms of its utility and its ability to reach people. But we're going to continue to evolve it, and there'll be a lot of unique opportunities to come in the years down the line. This is an investment that has immediate opportunity, but also a very long-term opportunity as well. Here is a kind of a glimpse at some of the brands that we have been working with for the last 9 months since we initiated the project in this way. From the Smithsonian to international airports to some very visible kind of, brand name stores that many of you are familiar with, as well as transportation and some smaller venues as well. So, real quick, to talk about the benefits of Google Indoor Maps, how Google Indoor Maps benefits venues and partners. One, as I mentioned, there's kind of two value sets of this. One is about utility, which is regarding people getting around, getting from point A to point B in an effective way. And the other part is regarding visibility online and the marketing kind of advantages that are built into that. One would be enhanced visibility within Google Maps. We, by virtue of this product, we would expand the digital footprint of all the venues involved. Very seldomly, in fact, 75% of people never go past page 2 of search results within a Google search. Has anybody ever been to, page 50 of a Google search result, or you kind of get there at part 2, right? So there's two ways of achieving, good search results within Google. One is to pay Google significant money to achieve higher search results. The other is to achieve those results organically. That is accomplished by having a lot of cool stuff and good stuff going on within the digital space about your business or your brand or your recreation center. This type of opportunity can provide a lot of support in that area. To give you an idea of the size of the audience that we're talking about, nearly 1 million sites utilize Google Maps to allow people to find direction to their businesses. Also, many sites that you might use that have reviews for restaurants and things like that utilize Google Maps in that way. Also, for any business or venue or organization that we're involved with, this would be a quick kind of website upgrade to their websites that are already using Google Maps. The second would be advanced mobile engagements. Now, there are a lot of very compelling numbers referring to the amount of people that are using their cell phones versus rotary phones or other phones. We know that we're sending emails. We're doing a lot more than sending and exchanging texts and making calls on our phones these days. It really is how people are conducting commerce right now. And with this platform, we are currently adding 1 million devices each day to our network, and with 400 million currently in play. So this is an opportunity for not only kind of getting up to date with technology and being able to reach out to new and returning customers via their mobile devices, but also for the future, for an investment for the future. Cutting edge navigation, I mentioned kind of that blue dot experience and getting from point A to point B. With the interior spaces, this technology is so impressive that we've been able to detail the accuracy, pinpoint the location accuracy within 5 meters of an interior space. It's really, really cool. Again, to highlight the simple process, this is it. We upload the floor plans that may have been sitting dormant for many years and potentially could be sitting dormant for many more. We will take those floor plans, bring them to life, and hopefully create an opportunity to attract more attention from the community, potentially generate revenue down the line. The second step is that we dispatch a field operative team, of which my colleague Andrew Ellis is here. The field operative team are about 200 people. Over half are people that we hired coming directly out of the military and home. We're employing quite a few people right now as a result of this project. And then the third step is we put the very finest engineers in the world to work on these maps and to bring them live. Again, all at absolutely no cost. This is a visual example of before and after of Mall of America. We did Mall of America. I don't know if you guys are aware of how large Mall of America is, but you can see on the left here what their presence was like on Google Maps prior to being engaged in the initiative. And on right is the after image of Google Maps. So you can see the heightened detail, all of the points of interest from eateries and shopping, but also ATM machines, fire extinguishers, emergency exits, etc. Now, I mentioned, I spoke earlier about kind of, spaces that we will map and spaces that we won't. Essentially, we only map public spaces. So an example here of venues that we do map, malls, retail, universities, landmarks, hotels, convention centers, and hospitals. Places where we won't go are dormitories, children's centers, courthouses, places like that. So, why Oceanside, right? So my colleagues and I came down here. I got to tell you, as I mentioned, I was really impressed by the sense of community in this meeting. I was, I don't want to say I was surprised by it, but I was definitely inspired by it. However, I just found that out, and that's not what brought us down here. You guys are very unique in a way that you are almost equidistant from Anaheim and San Diego. And there's so much, traffic both on the web and in real life that goes on by your community. Also, the size of the community you are is a perfect fit for us to really be able to feature your community and the types of buildings that you have at this size. So essentially, we are really excited to be here to present this to you guys, as we feel like it would be very, very effective in this community. Hence, our readiness and willingness to make a significant financial and physical investment in the city of Oceanside. And this is a big quote, and this is from Brian Ireland, who we worked with at the Smithsonian. And he's talking about liberty here and being in control of your own map. And having a map react to you in real time is pretty empowering, he says. And it really puts you in the driver's seat. It tends to minimize the risk of getting lost, a valid concern of many of our visitors. The map is accordant to your emotions, and that is something we expect to help our visitors who use the app. And we feel that this sentiment could really apply at many of the public buildings here in Oceanside. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and we'd be happy to field any questions if the council has any.
Thank you. If you could remain there for a second, I'll go back to Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Did want to state that the library, the Oceanside Public Library, is already in the process of having this happen. Is that correct, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, that's correct. The library has actually already gotten the digital copies of the blueprints, the floor plans, and they've already been uploaded to Google, and Google is in the process of getting them ready, and basically as soon as they can dispatch a field team to do the survey, they'll be ready to go live. And I believe that'll make us the first library on the West Coast? No?
Toward the very top.
Okay. One of the first public libraries on the West Coast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty exciting. And again, the benefits reduce costs to our city by providing information regarding the places within the city, like where the offices are, as you explained, and then also in terms of a marketing tool for our public spaces, public places. And I do understand that you are doing a presentation to the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow morning.
That is correct.
To talk about businesses and how this could really be used as a marketing tool for businesses to really put Oceanside on the map, literally put Oceanside on the map. And then we would be the first city to be doing this. Is that right?
We worked with a city on the East Coast called Watertown in Dakota. In South Dakota, which was a much smaller city than you guys, and they were kind of the flagship model. But in terms of a city of anywhere near your capability, your size, your location, you'd be the very first.
Definitely on the West Coast, and definitely the place where we want people to say, come to Oceanside.
There's way more happening here in Oceanside than there is in Watertown.
You're right. That's what I thought.
Like a lot.
So I haven't heard that, but yeah. city. So my motion would be to direct staff to cooperate with Google in providing the information so that for mapping of our public places.
I would second that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Was there public on this? Sir, if you could have a seat or a sidebar, whatever's most convenient for you. And Madam Clerk, public?
Jimmy Nutt?
Mayor, council members, Jimmy Nutt, 127 Sherry Lane. Once again, I have to put on my hat as a Utilities Commissioner and also as a past Telecommunications Commissioner. I'm happy to see this advancement. However, our Utilities Department, Police Department, and Fire Department, through Homeland Security, might have some serious concerns about the detailed public informational sensitive access. And these sensitive areas might include water, wastewater, electronic infrastructure. And I would suggest that the designated restrictions would be designated by the city manager in any motion that would be made, so that these would take and be set aside to whoever is putting this together within the city here and within our infrastructure within government. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the speakers.
Thank you very much. Back. Councilman Kern, please.
And just before Councilmember
I'm
Kern
sorry,
speaks,
go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, we had discussed the security issues for, say, our water and
Yes, ma'am.
things. So those would be excluded. We're talking purely public places where the public is more than welcome to come, and not to any secure, like the police inside the police department, anything like that. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Councilmember Kern, please.
Thank you. I just have one question, because you mentioned a distance that you get people within 5 meters. I mean, that's 16 feet. When you're talking 16 feet, we're about 16 feet apart right now. So if you're going to a specific place in a building, 16 feet may make a difference of being at the right desk versus the wrong desk. I just thought the 5 meters was kind of too, you can stand wherever you want. You can stand 1 meter over. How's that?
Great.
So the idea
on the
of
map.
having that accuracy, is that by design, or is that because of that's what as capable as you are?
Councilmember Kern, I have to, the outside GPS is dictated by a different technology than the inside. And to get within 5 meters has taken many years of research and millions of dollars of investment. It's actually, in terms of technology for an interior space, it's a terrific feat. Now, that's not to say that, we won't continue to grow and evolve, but in terms of what's available, it's the absolute cutting edge on the market.
Okay, and the other question, when we look at Google Maps, we're
Yes, sir.
obviously looking in a two-dimensional XY coordinates. When you get into a building, in our library is an example,
Okay.
that we have a mezzanine, we have a second floor, so we have an XYZ coordinate to deal with. How is that going to work?
I'm really glad you asked, and this is, kind of in step with the level of technology we're at. These maps are able to update themselves. If you were to go up an escalator or go up an elevator, automatically in the palm of your hand, the map will update, and then that floor plan of the level that you arrive on will automatically appear. Very impressive.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because the idea that, a lot of public spaces are, are up instead of out. Obviously roads are easier to navigate, and I use mine all the time, because
Our engineers actually prefer up, so we like that in terms of the technology.
I'm sorry, what?
I said we like the technology in terms of being able to go up. That's a big part of what we're doing with the maps.
And then I suppose when you get into going down sub-level basement stuff, I mean, is it?
If there's Wi-Fi access available on the sublevels, then we would be able to have the maps be interactive. If there were not to be Wi-Fi access available, you would still be able to see the static map. You'd still be able to have access to the map, just not interactive.
Well, on your, I haven't been to Mall of America. I've been, obviously to a lot of local malls where they're multi-level. And so that, and all those stores on that level, obviously some are down below ground. So if you lose the signal, you've lost the map. Basically, that's what happens now.
Essentially, unless you were to just have the static map there, you wouldn't have the blue dot interactive feature available to you.
Okay.
But if you had updated the map so that it's on your phone already, and then you were to be in that level where the Wi-Fi access wasn't available, you know, you'd still have some view as to how to get around on that level.
Okay.
But the Wi-Fi, you know, access points are certainly, you know, key to the interactive aspect of
Okay,
the
Chris, you
technology.
keep leaning in like you want to say something.
Well, I was just going to say that I think we're sort of talking across each other here. You're saying when you lose the signal, you're talking about the cell phone signal.
Yeah, I mean,
What he's talking about is the ability to see a wireless access point for a wireless network, which is
I don't care how it works. Just that,
I understood where you were
You know
going.
what? If I'm in a mall and I want to find the ice cream store, I want to find the ice cream store, and the machine will work.
If you have absolutely no signal, it would be tough.
Okay, but I'll eventually find the ice cream store because I'm good at that.
You got a nose for things like that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
you. I will have to say this. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, sir, and the people that you brought with us. Sorry it went a little long, and the rest of the audience, I apologize.
Absolutely no problem.
Move forward. I'm amazed. I sit down at the Sandag board. What can be done on a handheld phone now is incredible.
It really is.
Get your airline tickets, get your train tickets, find where you're at, restaurants, all these things. It's amazing. And adding to it, GPS in cars and on these are just fantastic, and I use it all the time. The only problem I have with it, from day to day, it advances so much that I can't keep up.
That's a
That's
fact.
the problem I have. It's smarter than I am, and that's not saying much, but
In this case,
thank you.
we'd keep it up to date for you.
Thank you very much. I thank you for your hospitality. I'd like to take a vote right now. Could you please vote on this item?
Is my light on?
No, yeah, I'm sorry, it wasn't. I apologize, Deputy Mayor. I didn't see you.
I'm probably the only one here that could drive to Watertown without your map. But it's odd to me that you're here instead of many other places in the country. And why is this so important to you as Google?
Well, we are trying to create the most advanced mapping technology available for our users. We want them to be able to have a absolute one-of-a-kind of experience every time they use our maps. It's a pretty crowded market, really, and our thinking is that the more people that we can get to find your venues and come to the venues here in town using our maps, is the more people that are using our technology and our search engines. And that's, essentially, what is the interest. As far as Oceanside, as I mentioned, your specific size and geographic location is something that is, very interesting to us at this time.
And you do this for free because?
We, along with Gmail and Docs and Google Translate and all these other tools, our goal is to provide them to people absolutely no cost all the time. And the more people that use those tools, again, are folks that will hopefully use our search engine as well.
I'm trying to get back to a flip phone, but I'm not able to get my email on that.
They're not coming back, Deputy Fuller.
I miss the big black rotor dialers. You put your finger in and turn it. I miss those. Anyhow, with that,
I
sir.
have two, but they're in my office where they should be, so your buzzer isn't going off during the meetings.
That's true. Thank you. Please vote. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Motion approved, 5-0.
5-0. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
If you wish to
you.
leave, go right ahead. I thank you very much on that. For the people in the audience,